Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the NECC. It is Overwatch Wednesday, and I could not be more excited to be here. I tell you what, some of you guys, I live in the Midwest, and we have dropped temperatures, and it's about 30 degrees where I live. But tonight, it's even colder here inside of the NECC, because right underneath me in that box is the main man. Connor Breeze is in the building. What's up, my guy?
Not much, living the dream. You know how it goes.
That's right, man. That's right. Hey, and do we have a matchup tonight? Carroll University comes in here to face Northern Essex Community College. Man, we have a matchup straight ahead.
For sure, especially on the map Havana, which will be the first map tonight. It looks like it's going to be a fantastic map for some of the DPS players that we've seen in this league so far. You know, Freaky J's had a time of his life on that first point on defense. You know, we've seen some good Widow plays from him coming out of the gate. So I'll be very, very interested to see, you know, how things move forward in the beginning of this map.
Absolutely. And ladies and gentlemen, we want to remind you that you can follow us on social media at NECC Games. Again, that's NECC Games on Twitter and Instagram. And you're going to want to check that out. And right now, Connor, all roads lead to the NECC playoffs as it's just right around the corner.
Oh, it's coming up very, very quickly. You know, we're going to have some big matches very soon for the playoffs. You know, teams are going to be fighting tooth and nail to take those top spots.
Absolutely, absolutely. And speaking of that and getting ready for those playoffs, I made the announcement last night on stream, but now the NECC playoffs will be live on our linear TV partner, ESTV. Again, ladies and gentlemen, ESTV now available on Samsung TV Plus, the Roku channel, Vizio, and plenty of options for you to download their platform and catch esports action from around the globe 24/7, including the NECC playoffs. It is a fun time to be involved in collegiate esports. I tell you what, as a scene, you got to love what's happening in college Overwatch right now, Connor.
For sure. You know, there's a lot of very good things going on. You know, it's just growing as, you know, an esport in general through the college scene. There's lots and lots and lots of players coming out every day, you know, trying to make onto teams, trying to get into challengers, trying to get into these different leagues to make sure that they have some spots to play. And, you know, it's very, very competitive right now. It's something that's always great to see and always great to watch.
Absolutely, 100%. And again, for those people that are new, we always like to do this in the pregame show. For those that might be here to just support their university, alumni, friends, family that are just here, maybe they're new to esports, what are they going to get as they see competitive Overwatch come to the NECC?
You know, they're going to see a very, very hectic type of game here tonight. You know, it's very structured, but you won't necessarily know what's going on. But me and Jaron are here to kind of it is very, very chaotic, and we'll try to talk you through it the best we can.
Absolutely. And by talking through it, we mean Connor will tell us what is going on, and I will say funny things on the side. But it is close to time. We are going to have a good match. Our producer is going to let them know that we are ready to get this game started as both teams are in their lobbies. Again, before we do that, we want to say thank you to Helix Esports for all the things that they do for us behind the scenes to make esports possible. And of course, a huge thank you to our friends at HyperX. I know I got my HyperX ones on right now, and some of the best gear in gaming now comes to the NECC. And now, Connor, as we go to the streets of Havana, that first stretch of road to that first point is so crucial. Break down for people what they're going to see on this map.
You know, this is a very, very difficult first choke point to get through. It's a pretty wide for a choke point, but there's a lot of things to be careful of. Long sight lines, so characters like Hanzo, Widow, you know, any hit scan really will do a lot of damage here. You know, if you don't have the proper amount of shields, you might have some trouble here. Or if you don't have a good dive composition, you know, those can be some difficult things to deal with. You can go through Cafe on the left here, but that's an even smaller choke point with only one exit, and you won't be able to push the payload as you're moving through there. So that will also be an issue. You know, it really just depends on how these two teams want to attack and defend this first point. It will be a clash for sure.
Absolutely. And ladies and gentlemen, we will let you know that Carroll University will be in the blue and Northern Essex will be in the red. And speaking of Carroll, looks like they're going to go with the double shield comp with that Orisa and Sig. And allowing the Echo and the Ash, man. It's going to be interesting. What are you seeing on the red side as we jump into it right now?
It looks like they're going for a double off-tank composition. You know, it's very interesting, especially with these sight lines, you know. Freaky J's playing Widow, nothing too surprising here, but you know, there is no shields and they're just trying to use the payload as cover moving forward. They have a Mercy kind of flying around, getting everybody heals up, trying to keep everybody alive. Widow with a huge pick onto the Ash. It is now 6v5. Rez comes off from Mercy. KTM goes back up into the fight and backs off with team. Orisa backs off and drops shield as well. Widow's duking it out. Echo almost goes down, but stays up. Down goes McCree, but McCree rezzed. It looks like more shots. It's in the poking phase here. It looks like Anna's going to go down, and so is Ash. Hammond doing his thing in the background. Tilted trying to get some disruption in there. Osiris good headshots with the McCree. Takes down Supercharger. Mercy gets the res off, but then gets picked by Roadhog. Ball still flying in, disrupting team. Widow now has the high ground on top right. It looks like they're going to back off here with Fabled going down, but Widow calls walls, might be able to get a quick pick on that Anna in the background there.
And that Anna, so crucial with keeping her alive. Her nade, she does go down there, but her nade and that shot is so powerful and important for this team.
Anna is a very, very good healer to have. You know, you have a lot of ways to basically disrupt your enemies, save yourself, stop ultimates. She's very, very powerful, but her downside is she is not very mobile. She's not quick. She doesn't have good movement abilities. She has to play with very, very smart positioning, or it could be taken out of this game very easily.
Absolutely. And let's see. And so I'm looking at Ash right now, just trying to find room. Hiding behind that Orisa shield, trying to find room for KTM.
You know, if you notice here on the right, Freaky J getting damage boosted by the Mercy here, trying to get some shots through that shield, but they just can't get anything through. Anti-nade from Anna prevents healing, but no one goes down. Osiris goes down from Echo, but gets rezzed by the Mercy, so it's still a 6v6. Sigma ults and gets McCree stuck in the ultimate. McCree saved by the Mercy ultimate, but eventually goes down to the Sigma, which is nano boosted anyway. Anna and Hog have high ground, but both jump down to the background. Sleep comes out from Anna, but here comes Bob from Carroll. Bob takes down Fabled. Tilted trying to get out along with Mercy. It looks like NECC is going to back off here. And they're going to regroup, going to wait for a good push this next time. Looks like they also have some ultimate advantage here. It looks like Fabled has his whole Hog. Osiris has High Noon, and Haunted Mage has a Nano Boost. This could be a very, very dangerous combo. Hog and Anna play here if they get good positioning to take on this team.
It could see, hey, we could see that nano whole Hog, which is such a dangerous combo.
You know, but that's where Anna is still very powerful. You know, Lasker could just sleep the Hog, and if he gets that sleep off, that Nano and that whole Hog are irrelevant. Tilted takes the Nano, rolls into the Supercharger, into the entirety of the backline if they're the enemy team. Nano does not really do much for them there. Widow comes out with walls, picks the Orisa. Hog misses Hook. They're still just fighting for that high ground positioning here. The two shields are helping Carroll immensely here. Big sleep by Anna, takes down Echo. Dynamite comes out, takes down McCree. Tilted goes down to Sigma as well. Mercy with a dangerous res there, gets it off. McCree's back in action, going after the Mercy and Anna. Flashbang misses. It looks like there's a ball now for Carroll in the back line. Bob comes out as well. Oh, huge ultimates being used there. Tilted and Fabled going in, using both their ultimates to really, really stack that fight in their favor. They end up taking that point with just the four of them. They are doing a fantastic job of combining their ultimates and, you know, really pushing into the back lines and good positioning on the enemy team, breaking them up so they can't fight together as a unit like they want to.
Absolutely, and a lot of momentum here moving forward for Northern Essex Community College, as they're already 2 points down with 3 minutes on the board.
Freaky J getting those good picks on the low health heroes, making sure to hit those headshots. It's very, very, very dangerous to have a Widow with free sight lines on you. It looks like Grim Reaper has fallen off the map here, or jumped off, one or the other. And it looks like High Noon takes out Mercy as well, and down goes Anna, staggered in the backline. Unfortunate, they're going to have to wait for healers to come back for this next time. They're pushing up very, very far with sitting Anna on payload, pushing everyone else forward. Freaky J in a bad position right now, trying to deal with them. Almost falls off. Good grapple onto the underside of the bridge to get out and not get taken down by that Sigma.
And so much going on right here on this point. As you look at that Hammond duel right in the middle, and it's going to be a massive Sigma ult trying to push them back, and that will push that Northern Essex team back just a little bit off the payload.
Ball gets rezzed by Mercy, but McCree takes down Echo. NECC sells advantage here. Flashbang and sleep onto Grim Reaper. Grim Reaper uses his shields to stay alive. Freaky J's got the high ground. Down goes Reaper before he can teleport onto Widow. Ball diving Widow now, but McCree also taking down Ball, doing a good job supporting his long-range DPS there, doing what he needs to do to keep the fight in their favor. Down goes Bioflex as well. Echo taken down by Freaky J as well. Now walls pop out from Widow. He's hitting a lot of shots here. This can be problematic. Ball drops in onto NECC alone, trying to stall payload a little bit. There comes Reaper as well.
Ooh.
Ball goes down, Mercy goes down. Freaky J still getting picks. Mercy, Battle Mercying the Sigma a little bit. Her and Fable take it down. Whole hog on the bottom. Nano comes out onto the Lucio. Not sure if that was intended or not, but Lucio goes down. High Noon picks him. Ball goes down as well, and it looks like Carroll just can't get any bodies on payload, and it looks like NECC is going to take this first round.
And Connor, not only did they take that first round, but absolutely had, I mean, with 1:05 left on that time clock in their time bank, I mean, they ran through that pretty fast.
They did a very good job of keeping the pressure on and doing all the right things, waiting for ult advantage and, you know, making sure to combine their tactics in a way that puts them ahead of Carroll in this game.
Absolutely. And now we're gonna switch sides. Do you think? Well, you're not gonna have to think about it because we are about to see what the compositions they will change. As now Carroll University will have the payload side, and let's see what they come out with composition wise. Looks like they're gonna bring out the Reinhardt and the Ball. We're seeing a lot of that Hammond play tonight, man. It's something we haven't seen a ton here on Overwatch Wednesdays.
They also have a Sombra pick and Moira. It looks like they're going to try to brawl it out with a majority of their characters here, and then Sombra Ball are going to dive onto the faraway targets. Maybe Widow, for example, with Freaky J, although he is playing Ashe this round, you know, using the Bob utilization and everything. But it looks like they're going to use that for dive and brawl with the rest of their comp. It looks like Osiris and Freaky J are going with the Torb Ashe combination here. Turret will be a nuisance for any of the flying characters if they ever make a swap, so this will be also a nuisance for Sombra when she tries to teleport behind or become invisible near the high ground characters. That could be problematic for Sombra moving forward.
Absolutely, and we switch sides, ladies and gentlemen, as Carroll University with control of the payload as it moves down that main street of Havana to that first corner.
Sombra has to take down the turret first, but the turret saves Anna's life. Anna gets to get off the high ground there. Torb now onto the high ground, taking on the Sombra. Sombra teleports out. Dynamite comes out, but so does Barrier, taking the fire off of Reinhardt, keeping him healthy and moving. Tilted gets taken down by high charge Zarya. The hacks are coming out onto Fabled as well. Hacks are going to be a very big problem for the NECC here. Torbjorn's got his turret back up, but Freaky J has been hacked on the high ground. trying to 1v1 that Sombra, not going well, drops off high ground. Freaky J does get to the pick on the McCree there. Here comes Coalescence from Moira, huge heals and huge damage here, but Bob is coming back out from Freaky J, but is hacked. Sombra being a very, very smart pick here,
Ooh.
causing lots of problems. Molten Core basically eliminating all the areas to stand around the payload. And Fabled is cleaning up there, even the Mercy, Battle Mercies, and takes out the Sombra here. Great, great hold by the NECC.
Absolutely. And Northern Essex Community College, they are just playing out of their minds right now. And for that Reinhardt, for the opposing Reinhardt for Carroll, you'd like to see maybe his team group up with him just a little bit more. It seems like he is getting a little bit extended, and I don't necessarily think that's his fault, Connor.
No, I don't think it is necessarily either. You know, NECC is doing a very good job of keeping them spread and kind of positioning it the way they want, except for that huge shatter there. They could not capitalize on it. Mercy goes way up in the air to get her ultimate out on the field, get lots of damage, lots of heals out very quickly. You know, concerned for that shatter, and rightfully so. Although I do believe that they could be, Carroll could be combining their ultimates with Sombra just a bit better. It looks like they have some ultimates coming up here. High Noon and EMP could be very devastating coming forward. You know, and there's a lot of talk that needs to be happening on the background in the lines. You know, trying to make sure that Sombra's targets are being attacked by the entirety of the Carroll team. It looks like Whole Hog comes out and picks two. Sombra and Moira go down, and so does Grim Reaper. Rez comes out on Osiris, keeping you up, making sure to utilize that Rez efficiently, making sure you have as many people to fight on point as possible while the other team regroups. It is a very, very long walk from spawn for the NECC, so they're trying to keep as many people up as possible for each fight.
And Carroll makes a switch. They're going to go Hog Zarya. Going to try to go maybe meta here and try to get past this Parks corner. Because right now, Northern Essex absolutely dominating as they hold around this first point.
You know, I always am concerned when I see a double off tank, but you know, it just depends on the players and if they're good enough to run with it. And it looks like Bob is doing work, and so is the McCree on both sides. Bob really cleaning this up. Moira coalescing, Hog not going to be able to take him down, but gets a damage orb on him as well. It looks like Moira's going to go down to the Torbjorn, making sure they stay off point. And there goes Fable taking out Beowulf. It looks like NECC is going to hold here. 30 seconds left for the first point.
Absolutely. And Connor, I don't hate the Hog Zarya combo, but I think with that Reinhardt, we saw the massive shatter and just no one there with him. As an EMP comes out right now.
EMP could be massive here. This could be game changing. Hog goes and takes out Tilted. Molten Core comes out, trying to block off Cafe from pushing forward, takes down McCree with it. Hog pushing up on Torbjorn. Freaky J takes out Sombra. Hog is slept. Great Ana play there. Hog out of breather. Now whole hogging on point, but is not enough. Nanoed Torbjorn takes him down along with Fabled. Hook onto the Zarya, and that is game one. NECC takes it.
Man, and Connor, what a match. But before we get into talking about that game one of the first map, let's take a look at Tilted as he has the Sigma play of the game.
Great eats there. His ultimate's coming up, getting good blanket damage off. Takes down one, ults. Doesn't get anyone with the ultimate, but is making sure to select his targets properly, making sure to get some good splash damage on everybody, just being in the forefront of the battle, doing what tanks do best, taking up that damage, and, you know, really being a good team player there, not hanging back and being fairly aggressive, but not leaving his team. That's what you love to see out of your tanks.
Absolutely. And so let's talk about that first map. Look, I'd like to kind of focus on Carroll a little bit. I do feel like Grim Reaper had moments where he played very well. We saw some he built that shatter up fairly fast. But to me, Connor, it looks like just the team not able to rotate with him and able to capitalize that, even when he tries to pull the whole hog and into the EMP. There's just no one there to help him support. So what do you think they could do? Is that something that you're seeing? I know that that's what I'm looking at, but what do you see that we could maybe see different from Carroll here?
You know, I definitely think that the communication is key here. You know, they need to have, you know, whoever their shot caller is, you know, calling targets, especially with that Sombra Barrette play. When Sombra hacks a target on the enemy team, they lose their mobility. They lose their defensive abilities. They basically are not able to defend themselves at 100%. So what their team needs to do if they're going to run a Sombra is they need to basically pounce on whoever is hacked, because that is almost a free kill every time. And if they can keep communicating and working together and making sure they're doing the right things at the right time and really being a cohesive unit, you know, you're going to see a lot more team fights go in their favor.
Absolutely. And so now we are going to, as we get ready to change and pivot a little bit, we're headed to Kings Row. Kings Row is absolutely one of my favorite maps in this game. It is a beautiful, aesthetically looking map. But as we get ready to go down the streets, let's go take a look. It looks at like downtown London, and let's get our British flair on. And what are you seeing as we get down here into Kings Row?
Kings Row is a very, very open first point. There's a lot of high ground areas. There's areas to go through buildings. There's a lot of different places teams can set up, defend from, and also a lot of flanking areas for, you know, the attackers to flank from. So there's a lot of interesting compositions that you can see on Kings Row. One of my personal favorites is a Symmetra Bastion combination with those big teleporters onto a statue there. That's some good mobility, and it's always something that's fun to watch and see. Rarely played though. It is a very risky composition, but it pays off when done correctly.
And it looks like both teams are going to come out with a Rein Zarya setup, and we see Freaky J switch to that Widow like we've seen multiple times from him with the Genji paired up. I mean, it's going to be interesting as it's going to be a fight inside this point.
It looks like they're planning on brawling. You know, out comes the Sombra again. You know, that could be problematic for Freaky J. That could be problematic for Genji. Genji is, you know, in a bad way when he gets hacked as well. Same with Ana. If Ana can't defend herself, Lucio becomes very slow. You know, that Sombra could be pivotal here for Carroll. You know, we just have to see if they can come together and really jump on those targets as a team.
Well, let's get into it.
Ana hacked in the back. Genji dives right onto the Sombra. It looks like Carroll's getting pushed back here. NECC's taking point very assertively. It looks like they're going to get the first tick. No. Grim Reaper hops right on point, does the right thing as the tank. Down goes both supports for the NECC. Absolutely massive. Down goes Bitter Vet, and down goes Freaky J. It looks like Carroll has the upper hand by a mile here. NECC is going to have to get pushed back into spawn, and they're going to have to reset for this next fight.
And Connor, how about the play? I'm not saying Grim Reaper did that by himself. He had a lot of support from his teammates there, like we spoke about in between matches, but a massive pin, a massive pushback, takes out the enemy Rein. And let's see if they can hold him for the second time as NECC regroups.
It looks like Grim Reaper's got a big shatter here. Let's see if he can outplay the Reinhardt. And there it is! There's the shatter! Tilted goes down, nanoed as well, combining the nano. Down goes Lucio. He's bubbled as well. Ana out of position, gets taken down, and back goes NECC to spawn. Fantastic Reinhardt play. Heads up play by the Ana there, using her nano boost there. Almost gets picked by Widow, but it does not matter. Tilted goes down. And it looks like Carroll has a very, very good comeback here. It looks like they're holding this point very efficiently.
And it's like we talked about. We saw the plays from Grim Reaper. We knew that he was capable of it. Now see him get nanoed. See him there as they're going to cut through Hotel to try to come to the backside. A big grab comes out.
Huge grabs. Reinhardt swinging into each other. Massive fire strike from Kermie. That was a huge grab right there, and there was nothing they could do about it. Once they were grabbed, Reinhardt just needs to swing his hammer and cleave through the entire enemy team all at once. That's a lot of damage, and if you are not staying on top of it with heals and have the proper ways to deal with it, you are just going to get wiped. And that's what we saw right there. Absolutely,
and you know that had to be communication as the Coalescence comes out, but the Reinhardt gets slept.
And,
big shatter.
Huge shatter. Reinhardt, Grim Reaper slept, but coming back a little out of position, gets taken down by Tilted. It looks like NECC is going to be on a roll here. They are taking that momentum and running with it. Tilted still pushing into spawn, firing at their spawn doors, walking past second point, really pushing forward, being as aggressive as possible. Same with Kermi. Kermi stepping up, you know, standing there as well. We have Lucio for the speed out if necessary. 2 on payload. It looks like they're going to try to stall here. Freaky J on the high ground. Might be able to get a quick pick onto a squishy target. Grim Reaper's tossing the shield up and, you know, takes away his sight lines. Freaky J backing up here.
Absolutely. Go ahead, Connor.
Forwards. Carroll pushing forwards onto this point here, but Lasker is slept, almost picked by the Widow. Ash in the background taking shots now. Nano on to Kermi. Double Nano. Good block shatter. Walls come out by Widow as well. Good counter charge there. 2 Nano Reinhardts are on the field. Tilted and Kermi both go down here. Bob really cleans up. Does a lot of good work for Carroll here. Freaky J goes down. KTM takes him out with a headshot. That was a fantastic defensive play by Carroll.
And one of the things, Carroll University comes into tonight's match, Connor, at 2-3 on the season, whereas Northern Essex Community College on the other side at 5-0 at the #1 seed in this Challengers Division. So this could be a massive upset for this Carroll team as we're going to get right back into another brawl fight right now.
Kermi pushing straight forward onto Grim Reaper, gets antied, half health, there's nothing he can do to heal. Here comes Grab.
Ooh.
Grab is going to be massive here. Grim Reaper swinging into it and charging, gets slept, but not before him and Zarya can take out 3. Looks like Freaky J is also in a bad situation here. Sombra right on top of him. Freaky J takes the Sombra down, but has to run out, getting chased down by Zarya Reinhardt. Freaky J grapples away like Spider-Man and gets out safely.
I tell you what, Connor, I don't know about you, but this is the kind of Overwatch I like. Reinhardt versus Reinhardt, 2 Titans in the middle of the payload. Here they go again.
Shatter, but hits no one, but here comes Blade as well. Down goes Moira, and he's in the background. Down goes both healers. Ash now dealing with the Genji in the background. Melee kills go down, and Beat comes out as well. It looks like NECC is going to use a lot of ultimates to win that fight, and they even pop walls. They might be doing that to see if there's any swaps and see how much time they have coming out of spawn doors. Maybe even try to get a cheeky pick on a support there. Moira standing still, being shot at by Freaky J. Here comes the damage orb. Ana doing a good job keeping heals up. They're gonna clash
Reaper,
here.
Grim Reaper just has his shatter. That's all I wanted to make note. And there it is as it comes out.
Huge shatter, but can their team capitalize? No, they cannot. Even a massive... Oh, it's absolutely massive. Here comes Nano. Here comes Grav. What else do they have in their back pocket to throw down? Carroll, very, very low for all their characters, or coming back from spawn. Sombra taking lots of damage, goes down. Reinhardt waiting for the Ana, doing the smart play of holding inside spawn doors. Kermi taking a little peek, runs up on 4 of them. Is going to have to pull back a little bit here. Here comes a shatter inside spawn doors. And there's the fire strike. Genji dashing in to get some kills, and they just could not touch payload. That is round 1. NECC making themselves heard and known on that last push there, being very aggressive and very dominant, the kind of play that you like to see when watching Overwatch.
Well, and Connor, how about right there proves why they are 5-0 in this division and why they are the #1 seed in the playoffs. Every single team will be gunning for this Northern Essex Community College team, because right now, I mean, I don't know about you, Connor, but this is impressive the way they're playing.
They are doing all the right things. Even when they're losing team fights, they come back, they slow things down, they try to get their momentum back, they make the adjustments that they need to make to win those next team fights. They're using their ultimates together, they're doing all the right little things they need to do, you know, in order to win each and every team fight they come across.
And it looks like Northern Essex they'll take the Widow out. Freaky J going to switch to Sombra, maybe looking for something a little different as they try to hold here. But it looks like, again, we're going to have 2 Titans face off, and it's going to be a brawl fight right in the middle of the street.
It looks like Osiris is taking his time, you know, making a pick. I'll be interested to see what that second DPS is going to look like. Out comes Reaper. Reaper, you know, a great great face tank DPS, you know, goes directly after the tanks. His self-heal can be very, very helpful. You know, it's something that, you know, every tank hates to go against and hates to deal with, so he will be very good at brawling in these close corners fights around these corners. Freaky J looking for a quick hack, hiding in the back corner, uncloaking there, and down, Zarya gets hacked. Osiris goes down with that hack from Immortal Winds, so 6v5 currently fighting around the side of tower. You know, Soldier drops heals. Zarya's both fast Shatter. Absolutely amazing Shatter. You know, gets it very quickly and sends it 50% ult advantage on top of Beowulf. You know, he could not just keep up with the speed of that Shatter, hitting his fire strikes, doing all the right things to, you know, hit that Shatter and get that team wipe. It looks like he's going to have to come back from spawn, though. Can they hold off before Carroll pushes through them? It looks like some of them are doing the smart thing, backing off here, waiting for their team. Hack in the back on the Ana, trying to get a full clip in. Lasker not doing so well. Beowulf is also taking lots of damage. Down goes 3, though. It looks like Carroll is doing a fantastic job of taking that point with the lack of NECC players in the area having to wait for spawn. You know, that stagger is very, very devastating to teams. You know, having to fight a 6v4 or a 6v5 and then just slowly one at a time come into that uneven matchup, that uneven fight. You know, it can be very difficult to get your momentum back and very difficult to, you know, win those kinds of fights when you're down 1 to 2 players. But here comes an EMP early. Grim Reaper goes down. Hack onto Kermi. Kermi loses that battle, but down goes Bittervet. And here comes a Shatter. Hits no one. Unlucky. Beowulf gets bio-nated. Zarya hacked in the back line. It looks like NECC is going to regain control of this payload here and push Carroll back into spawn.
And they do push, but it is just, they have been trading. Connor, both these teams just trading back and forth, back and forth.
They're doing a fantastic job of that, and now NECC is going to have to back up and regroup here real quick. It looks like Grav is ready from Tilted, and Kermi's almost got Shatter. Grav Shatter could be devastating here to Carroll, but here comes a Nano Visor. Here comes Grav as well. There's that Grav. You know, they're responding with beat from both sides. Shatter coming down when ready, when there's no shield in front of him. Survives the... Oh, there's the Shatter through payload. Gets one. Down goes Lucio and Ana. Carroll no longer having any heals to deal with. You know, Reinhardt slept for Carroll here. And it looks like they're going to be cleaning up. Beowulf still on payload here, gets staggered slightly by the NECC. It looks like Reinhardt's going to come back from spawn. Very, very long walk for NECC here.
And I thought that when Beowulf took Kermi out right there, it was going to maybe swing the momentum of that fight. But Kermi's team and the Northern Essex Community College team, they just grouped up, played together. I mean, it's impressive that they won that team fight.
They all did the things they needed to do, but massive, massive EMP. All of them are EMP'd. Not a single character has gone un-EMP'd, and here comes Shatter. Shatter slams 2. EMP comes back, or Hack comes back onto Reinhardt. Kermi goes down, and they are cleaning up now. Momentum now swings back. Wasted High Noon. Unfortunate decision there. Press Q during a losing team fight. That is unfortunate. That will definitely slow this fight down. You know, he'll have to try to get those points back for his ultimate charge. Those percentages, you know, are sometimes very difficult to get back, especially when dealing with a lot of shields and a lot of high mobility characters. You know, he'll have to work his way back for that. Torbjorn is the switch, though. You know, great defensive character. Tilted is hacked and slept, and here comes an EMP Shatter. Massive. NECC is coming back from this one, and Nano might have been unnecessary there, but they're pushing forward. They want to guarantee themselves this team fight. They want to make sure their Reinhardt stays up and, you know, pushes through everyone with no problems. NECC retakes payload control here. Torbjorn sitting on payload, you know, maybe possibly putting a turret nearby. Team's about to clash at the payload once again. Carroll coming around the corner, pushing forward. No bubbles for Zarya. Grav comes out from Tilted. Kermi swinging into the Grav here. Down goes 3. 6v3, 4v2. And it looks like Carroll's gonna have to back out yet again, although they did lose Kirby and Haunted, but they're still going to have to back out. Losing fight for Carroll there. They have 3 minutes on the clock to push this payload forward. They're gonna have to regroup and push, get some momentum here.
Big grab on payload.
Grav comes out along with an great anti-play. Turret takes out Zarya. Turret's doing some good shield damage. Sleep onto the Reinhardt, immediately woken up by Turret though. Hack comes out onto Kirby. Bubble goes out to try to save him a little bit. Here comes the anti-nade. He's got no health, no heals. He goes down. Kirby goes down, but 3 of Carroll go down. It is still an uneven fight here. They're just going to be poking around the corner trying to get their ultimate charge up. It looks like Carroll has an ultimate advantage here. Sights comes out, tries to take out Turret, spends his time. Turret kills Ana here. Beat comes out trying to save them. They have 2 minutes left, but they're decided they're going to use some ultimates for this fight. Hack and Shatter go down. Here comes Molten Core as well. NECC not taking any chances, using ultimates as they see necessary to make sure every team fight is won, and very decidedly so. Carroll's backing out as fast as their Lucio will allow them to.
And at this point with a 1 minute and 57 time back on the other side, your main goal, you have to win this team fight because you just have to make it all the way across. As the Nano comes out on the Rhine.
Nano on the ride, clashing Reinhardt's in the middle on payload, you know, using that corner for a little bit of coverage as his team catches up to him. Here comes Grav out from Tilted, but massive shatter, could not capitalize, but down goes 3. 4, it looks like Carroll's taking this team fight. Hanzo's just sitting in spawn doors, going to have to wait. It looks like Carroll's in a good position to get this here. It does not look like the NECC will be able to get a touch here. Dragons come out, but I'm not sure if it'll be enough. Kermie does his best to charge onto payload, but it's just not enough. Round 2 complete. 106 left on the clock after 3.
And one of the things that I want to talk about here, Connor, is I thought for Carroll University, that somber play from that last match, there were multiple times where a I saw one coming up towards that backside where there was a massive shatter by that Reinhardt where he knocked down almost 1 DPS and 1 support. Through an EMP, pushed through to take them out. The Reinhardt tried to intervene, but the Sombra, after dropping the EMP, hacked the opposing Rhine and just took. I mean, it's impressive the way she's playing right now.
The amount of crowd control that Sombra is putting out is what Sombra players are supposed to look like. This is how they're supposed to play. They make it so basically the other team is not allowed to play their characters, and then they stack it on top of each other with a hack to make sure that all the main players, the best characters that they could possibly use, you know, can't use their abilities for even longer. So, you know, Reinhardt not being able to put a shield up, fire strike, charge or anything like that, you know, keeping him hacked is probably one of the best things that Sombra could have done in that situation.
Well, right now, Carroll University going to have control here, going to try to take this point. And they have 1 minute and 6 seconds to do it. Let's see what they can get done as we take off into this round.
Freaky J sitting in the top left here, trying to get a hack off quick. Looking for anyone, gets hacked by Immortal, loses that Sombra 1v1, has to back off here. Clashing around the corner, front side of Hotel. Both Reinhardt shields incredibly low. Huge anti-nades from both sides. It's a clash here, but it looks like Carroll's actually going down here. High charge Zarya is doing work. That is a team kill. Soldier, Sombra, and Zarya being very, very coordinated, getting the hacks off, getting high charge, and getting those great micro missiles in that quick burst damage onto Carroll.
And Connor, we've seen both Reinhardts go down by both teams, and it just looks like Northern Essex Community College, their DPS and support's able to win those team fights.
For sure, you know, their DPS are doing everything in their power to keep those wins. But let's talk about Tilted, keeping that high charge and finishing off all those high health heroes. You know, gets another 3-piece during that team fight. Freaky J goes down, but it will not be enough. There's a contest by Soldier. Kermie takes him out, and now it's Reinhardt's charging back in to get that last touch, but could not get there in time. Also had Shatter lined up for this fight. You know, that was a very, very tough first point to deal with for Carroll. Let's see if they can hold it and tie this round out.
But But if you talk about Northern Essex Community College, Connor, right here, they're only one tick away from moving to 6-0 on this NECC season.
That is some impressive numbers, some impressive play. You know, they've earned every win they've gotten. It's not been something that they've just kind of accidentally stumbled into. This is something that they have earned and deserved so far based on their play.
Absolutely. Guys, before we go anywhere, we want to remind you that you can follow us on social media at NECC Games. Again, that's NECC Games on Twitter and Instagram for live updates, announcements, and giveaways for everything related to collegiate esports. And now, Connor, here we go. It's going to look like the same matchup. They do bring a Sigma out onto the field for Northern Essex. But I tell you what, it's going to be close, and it's going to be a brawl fight right in the middle of the street.
Speaking of compositions, it looks like NECC's got that very risky but dangerous strategy, you know, with a Bastion and a Symmetra. It looks like that top of tower might be where they're going for, especially with that Sigma shield being able to block for them. This could be a very, very quick team fight. They just need the one tick down, so they're going to look to make this team fight very decided. There goes the teleporter. Down goes the Bastion, and he teleports on top. The high ground is now removed from Carroll. Bastion can just sit there with his damage boost and heals and just unload on the enemy team. Reinhardt's shield for them goes down quickly. Down goes Kermie, but it doesn't matter. Heals down, off tank's down. There goes the other heal, and it is just devastation. Fire from above. Bastion raining bullets onto Carroll. There was nothing they could do to stop that play. Great execution.
Wow, and let's go look, and let's see this Genji play of the game.
It's been a while since I've seen a big blade, you know, takes down the Moira, makes sure to get both heals and the Zarya, and then finishes off the Ashe here. What a great job by that Genji. You know, golden sword, he's clearly put a lot of hours in. You know, it's nothing that you haven't seen before, but also nothing that you don't see very often.
Absolutely. And how about, Connor, listen, I know that you absolutely love that play, teleporting the Bastion to the top. I mean, Connor, you called it as we came to King's Row. It's like you knew that it was coming. So you got to love it that they took a little something out of the Breeze playbook and ended up winning this match.
You know, it's always a very, very fun, but very, very risky kind of play to try and attempt. You know, especially on attack, you only get one shot for that. After you do it once, you can't reassert that control. You can't reassert, you know, that area. They'll be watching for it the next time. You know, they'll delete your teleporters from the game. They will make it very difficult for you to play that, and you'll have to switch comps and waste time. But it's fantastic to see.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, impressive play by Northern Essex Community College. As again, they're going to move to 6-0 on the Challenger season. But ladies and gentlemen, don't go anywhere. We still have one more map. And I'll tell you what, Connor, this next map, we're going to go to Lijiang Tower. And I tell you what, this map still is important because especially this map is crucial for Carroll University because they're going to fall to 2-4. They're going to be right on the bubble of making the playoffs in this Challengers division. And once they're tied with other teams, one of the things we look at is map wins. So I understand that you lost this match today, but if you can come out with at least one of these map wins to try to help you in your playoff push, I mean, I think that this is a crucial map right here for Carroll.
This is still very, very important, especially with that record, like you said. You know, this could definitely mean touching playoffs or not being able to make it all. This is a very, very important game here.
Absolutely. And ladies and gentlemen, we are going to get into it. I will look as we're looking. I tell you what, it's a pretty fun time to be involved in the Overwatch team. Connor, I know you're having a blast. What are you seeing as far as both these divisions go here at the NECC and Overwatch?
You know, both divisions are very, very competitive. You know, it doesn't matter what ranks any team is. You know, you could be looking at a, platinum team or a grandmaster team. Either way, they are putting together some terrific plays, some terrific, game plays, compositions. They truly care, and they're putting in the time and the effort, and it shows. No matter what division, what league you're in, these players are working hard, and it is paying off for them for sure.
Absolutely. And ladies and gentlemen, we want to remind you that after this match, don't go anywhere because we are going to be about 30 to 45 minutes away from a monster of a match. Connor, one of the biggest programs in collegiate esports history, the #1 ranked Boise State Broncos #1 team, the Boise State Broncos, come in to the NECC live on stream to face St. Ambrose University. That is going to be a matchup.
Two heavyweights for sure. I couldn't have said it better myself.
It is going to be fantastic. We are letting everyone know that we are ready. We are about to get you this final map. 1 second, ladies and gentlemen. Our producer is just communicating with the team, so we will get that matchup to you very soon. We are headed that way right now. And Connor, as we go to Lijiang Tower, let people know a little bit about what we're looking at as we have a new game mode in this third map.
So we're looking at a control point here, which is basically King of the Hill. So basically, once one team takes control of that point, that entire team has to be off that point before the other team can take control. And it is an absolute slugfest every time these two teams meet on this point. It is just fighting tooth and nail trying to get control.
Connor, are you expecting another couple brawl compositions here as we get ready for this one?
It would be crazy to do anything but a brawl composition here. It's a little bit of dive is a good way to go because there's just enough room to go about it, but you still need to be able to fight in close quarters. And it looks like the NECC is going to take that dive strategy here with Ham and Diva, two off tanks again, trying to get those get the other team split up, and using Freaky J as Tracer and Osiris as Genji to kind of finish off those low health targets in the background. And Lucio and Moira, great brawl and dive supports, very, very good for fighting, very good for staying in it and being mobile. This is a great composition we're looking at here from the NECC.
And for the other side, May, I love it. The little young lady with the glasses and the blizzard. Connor, I would think that if with Connor Breeze, she'd be one of your favorites.
May is always fun to play against, but can we talk about Tilted getting those 2 boop kills, 3 kills, swinging people off the point here? Tilted taking that fight and saying, you know what, you're going to reset now. This is my point. You can come in through a different door next time.
My goodness, what a play right there. And I tell you what, I love this action. This brawl dive meta is just so much fun, and I like watching it. And I'm happy to be doing it with you here tonight, Connor.
Oh, for sure. You know what? I'm having a lot of fun watching Tilted play. Hammond, he goes down there, but he's always enjoyable to watch. He's doing some crazy plays, being aggressive as always. Bomb comes out, takes down Brig. Freaky J, good bomb there, trying to get some more picks off. May ice blocks. Genji deflects, but doesn't get anyone. Lucio takes Diva out of mech. May trying to get some freezes in on Lucio. Tilted back in this fight here. It looks like they're still contesting. Lucio goes down, but so does Grim Reaper. Fable takes him out. Fable gets demexed by Reaper. Beat comes out for Carroll. Carroll's doing their best to retake point. Moira Coalescent comes out, but so does Reaper. Reaper takes out 2. Biowolf takes out Fabled. Ults come out from Tilted here, still contesting. They're still getting percentage and charge off of this, even though they are so close to having the point taken from them. Lucio doing a good job of touching. Same with Tilted. Tilted goes down, and it looks like
wow,
back out as well. What a fight!
Oh, Connor, that was as the good old boys down here in the South would say, a slobber knocker of a fight on the point. That took almost 67% almost to get there. Wow.
That is an absolute slugfest if I've ever seen one. This is what I'm talking about. These control points are very crazy. Blade gets grabbed, cannot do anything with it, and down goes Haunted as well. Moira goes down. They're at a serious disadvantage here, but Bomb comes in, picks no one. It looks like Carroll is dominantly keeping this point. They are fighting for that last map win to stay in playoff contention here. They want it bad.
Absolutely, and let's just see. I mean, because that huge point, but now it comes down to if you can win it, you can lose it. Let's see if NECC can come back and try to take this point.
It looks like NECC is fairly split right now, but coming in from front doors instead of side. Tilted almost goes off map, saves himself with a quick jump. Both area denials coming out from both Hammonds, recalled by Tracer onto health pack. It looks like both supports for Carroll go down. This is not looking good for Carroll. Fabled is demeched, but down goes May and Zarya. It looks like NECC is going to assertively retake that point. Reaper's going to attempt to get out without getting staggered. Freaky J takes him down.
And Connor, when you lose this point right here, you're down 68 to 75%. When you're regrouping, what are you trying to do as your team here?
Trying to make sure you're talking about what ultimates are being used, trying to keep track of the other team's ultimates, and make sure that you're not overly rushing. You know, 75% is a long time to get that point back. You know, you don't want to rush it and make mistakes. Bomb comes out. Beowulf takes out the main healer, Moira. Moira goes down for the NECC. Tracer recalls there. They have brought it into overtime 99%. Reaper ultimate comes out as well, keeping everyone off the point. Genji going after the Brig there in the background. Tilted comes back, drops his area denial onto point, but it's not enough. He goes down. But both healers go down for Carroll as well. It looks like the NECC is making a push again, but loses Osiris and Lucio. They're going to have to back out here in hopes to have one more full push together. Tracer being annoying to the backline of the other team, building up that ultimate so she can drop a bomb on one of the supports. Tilted comes back in, drops on May. Here comes Blade from Genji, but gets grabbed again. Area denial as well onto that grab, takes out Genji and Lucio. Fabled is demeched and dethroned, taking out of this game. Freaky J gets bomb off on Lucio, but will it be enough? Haunted Mage goes down, no more healers for NECC. Tilted goes down as well. Carroll fighting for this last point here. Tracer's all that remains on point, but Lucio's coming up fast along with Genji. They are staggering in, trying to get those touches. Lucio flying around the top. Here comes Bomb as well. Bomb takes no one. Osiris goes down. Diva demeched. Lucio still on the walls, but getting frozen by May. Not looking good for him. Stays alive. Fabled gets pushed off map by Bittervet. Both beats come out here. Coalescence as well from NECC. Here comes the Death Blossom on the middle of the point, but gets no one. Lasker goes down from Tilted.
Oh my goodness.
Brawl.
There's the grab.
On the NECC again. Zarya doing a very good job of hitting those grabs when it matters. Freaky J goes down. Fable takes out May. Last on point. Baby Diva last on point to touch. Can anyone else get a touch? No, they cannot.
Woo-wee! Holy moly, that guacamole and some chips on the side. That was a fight right there, Connor. That is exciting Overwatch.
Can you tell that they want this last map?
Oh, I mean, look, we talked about it. This map's so crucial because if they're going to want to be in the playoffs, those map wins on the bottom of this playoff seeding is going to be so important. And you can tell that Carroll is fighting for every single inch that they have. My goodness, Connor. Do you think they can pull it off here and win this next one?
You know, if they keep their momentum, they keep making the smart plays, they keep being positionally sound, you know, they have a very, very good chance of taking this map.
All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, here we are. Whoever wins this map is going to win this whoever wins this round is going to win this map. Let's find out if they can push it to another round, or can Carroll University pull the upset and take this map.
You know, Carroll University's Zarya has been doing a very great job of getting her grabs very fast. Goes down there to Reaper. Fable goes down to Reaper, and Freaky J goes down as well. Reaper doing a great job of picking DPSs. You know, pushing NECC back. It looks like NECC is going to have to back off here. Carroll doing a great job of keeping that momentum and pushing forward into the other team.
And Connor, I don't think you could have asked for a better way for this last map to get started. You win the first, you come out, get the early picks, and take the map and have control right away.
You know, this is exactly what they want to happen. They have their Mei and Brig still. They have a high charge Zarya, 50% of the way to a Graviton Surge. You know, something that is very difficult to deal with, and a lot of ultimates combine well with. It looks like NECC is going to take on the point, but they're going to have Hammond in their back line, being frustrated, making Reinhardt turn his shield around. Coalescence comes out, but so does Beat. Both teams use a support ultimate. It looks like Grim Reaper stays up, but Tilted goes down. Fabled goes down as well, and down goes Osiris. Pharmacy up in the air, though. Can they get any picks? Bio Wolf takes out Freaky J, and it is not looking good for the NECC here. They're going to have to regroup and think of a new strategy moving forward to really deal with this this composition they're working against.
Absolutely, and again, all the momentum swung this Carroll way. You like to think, where was this in the first two maps, Connor?
You know, momentum is a tough thing to deal with. It just wasn't going their way for the first couple maps. Now that they have it, they aren't giving it up. They are going as hard as they can. But here comes a barrage from Pharah. Picks both supports, Mei and Zarya. It is not looking good. Death Blossom comes out, takes Freaky J, but no one else. He's going to have to recharge that ultimate. Now, it looks like Bio Wolf tried to get as much percent on that point as possible. They still have Grav. It looks like Freeze is coming up very soon, too. They're looking pretty even on the ult economy here. Let's see if they can retake here with their Grav and Freeze combination. Bio Wolf slamming in the background. Both Gravs come out here. Shatter comes out as well, but down goes Mei, down goes Lucio. Here comes the Brig ult. You know, support ultimate, but you know, they're not quite together. High charge, Zarya is coming in. Grim Reaper is pushing forward, and Biowolf is swinging on point. Round and round he goes. Moira Coalescence is, but so does Mercy. Area denial comes out too. NECC looking like they're gonna hold here.
And a massive hold at that, Connor. That Grav so big, able to catch ball and, able to catch both tanks from Carroll and able to take them both out and swing momentum back the other way.
It is unfortunate as well that Mei went down so early in that fight. You know, Mei could have been a real game changer with her ultimate there, but you know, they're going to move forward and they still have it moving into this next fight. They have Beat, they have a Freeze, but it looks like NECC is not giving them a chance to even leave spawn here. Here comes Barrage into quite literally spawn doors here. Tilted charging into the literal spawn of Carroll here, rezzing in front of spawn doors as well. Being very, very aggressive here. They don't even want Carroll to get out of the room. They are doing everything they can to bring this to a third map.
Absolutely. Hashtag to the spawn we go!
Hammond in the background, getting doing the smart play, getting the NECC to back up away from spawn doors. They have a Lucio as well that can get a nice touch here. Hammond swinging through again. Almost C9s, but doesn't quite because of Moira for NECC. Big pin there, but stays alive. Hammer goes down, gets the Hammond, but Hammond shields and survives. Another Death Blossom, but gets no one. Osiris takes him down. Lasker goes down, and so does Bittervet as well. Bio goes down as well. Grav comes out, and Coalescence. Nothing that Carroll could have done there. They're going to bring it to a third round here.
And Connor, you said it. You said it in the pregame, or in the middle of this game, that fabled for NECC, both sides, that Zarya play has been so crucial today. And how about multiple grabs where multiple tanks got taken out, and then how about the Death Blossom getting popped there on that last point, and then again that Graviton Surge coming out and helping take ball out, win that last point. The Zarya play has been impressive today, to say the least.
Zarya play has been absolutely phenomenal from both sides here. You know, I think in that those last couple fights, I think I would have liked to see Reaper combine his ultimate with something, either a Freeze or a Grav or a Shatter, just anything that can really disable NECC from moving. I would have liked to see some more cohesion with the Reaper ultimate, but you know, we live and learn, and we just move on to the next fight. Speaking of which, he's doing absolute work to Tilted and puts him away, sends him back to the spawn room. Freaky J getting some good damage in on Brig right there in the background. Osiris goes down, but so does Reaper. Trading back and forth for each team here. Zarya very high charged and Fable.
And NECC pushing straight to point.
Carroll doing the best they can to kind of contest that point, but it was not enough. Bittervet and Immortal go down here, but here comes Ball. Bio goes down as well. They're going to have to back up and wait. No shields, no tanks, no shield tanks for Carroll in this composition they got working with here. It looks like Ball is coming back. They're looking for Zarya Ball here. Tilted being the Reinhardt is giving them a big shield advantage, being able to take over more ground safer and not get picked as easily from Carroll. Ball in the background just disrupting.
I'd love to see them, Connor. I'd love to see Carroll come in and win one of these teams fight. They've proven that they can do it. I'd love to see it happen.
You know, and they're doing all the right things. Ball right there, trying to get on point, get NECC to turn around there. You know, that's some smart plays, just enough to kind of take the tension away from the door they got to deal with. But here comes a massive shatter and grab back from Carroll, but it doesn't matter. The Fire Strike picks out both tanks, and his shield just lets him walk backwards. Mercy also ulted, keeping that Zarya alive. Fabled, you know, doing everything they can to walk up the spawn doors, give it a kiss, and back off. Freaky J gets some good rocket damage in onto the Hammond. Osiris and Fabled both take down supports here, and here comes a grab from Fabled. Grim Reaper tries to stand in the doorway and face the Reinhardt head on, but could not do it without the support he needed. Back
and it's almost like NECC said, you know what, you got your 1 round win, but that's enough for today. We got things to do. And they have just been absolutely clutch here in this final round.
You know, it makes me think that they took the amount of time, the amount of thought in between rounds to really change up their strategy and do what they need to do moving forward to, you know, make some right decisions. You know, it's great to see teams, you know, making adjustments like that in the middle of the match.
Absolutely. We talk about how crucial communication is, and you can tell that this NECC team is staying together, talking, and here comes the fire ult.
Carroll and High Noon pop out, get no kills, but down goes Junkrat and Grim Reaper. Grim Reaper Martyrdom takes down Osiris, but gets rezzed. Lasker goes down as well. Solo Shatter on the Hammond, takes him off the map. Oh, takes himself off the map. Hammond back to touch for overtime. Unlucky charge there. Tilted goes down himself, but it does not matter. Good attempt there. NECC takes it.
Wow. Connor, we'll get into how impressive this was, but let's see this play of the game here. It's going to be your boy Tilted with that Hammond play.
You know, I love the Halloween skin. Very festive. Oh, here's that boop I was talking about. Gets the 2-piece there. And he swings around and he gets a third with a charge, I believe. There it is. There's the slam. Absolutely great Hammond play coming out of him.
Absolutely. And what a play. Not only a play by him, but how about this Northern Essex University team? They come in here. Now they move to wow. I mean, they come in here and, I mean, this community college is the #1 seed in this division. 6-0 on the year. And Connor, like you said earlier, that they proved and they earned every fight they have. They've proven why they're the #1 seed in the playoffs right now.
They are clearly putting the time in. They're looking at their compositions. They're knowing what they can play. They're knowing what they need to improve on. You know, they're making adjustments mid-match. They're clearly communicating. You know, they're going through all the right channels, all the right processes to, you know, really think about what they're doing and why it works, and then improving upon it even further. And that's what you love to see in Overwatch as a team, or in any sport, really. You know, making those small-time adjustments for big-time plays is what you love to see.
And again, Connor, I don't know how many times I'm going to have to hear you say it and me tell you that you're right, because communication has been the difference in every single game that we have seen here at the NECC. It's impressive.
It truly is.
Absolutely. Hey, and again, guys, thank you for being here with us tonight. Don't forget, you can follow us online on social media at NECC Games. Again, that's NECC Games on Twitter and Instagram for live updates, announcements, and giveaways through our social media on Twitter and Instagram. You can come check us out. And of course, thank you to everyone watching us on Twitch. We will be back live very shortly for all those watching us on Twitch Live in about, let's call it 35 to 45 minutes. You are going to see the #1 ranked Boise State Broncos come in and face St. Ambrose University. It is going to be, as my man Connor Breeze would say, a slugfest in the Champions Division. And I tell you what, Connor, thank you for being with me here tonight.
Thanks for having me. As always, Wednesday night is the best night of the week.
That's it, my man. It's always good when Connor can be here with me. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you to our partners one last time. Thank you to our friends at Helix Esports for all they do behind the scenes. Of course, our friends at HyperX. Some of the best gear in gaming now comes to the NECC. And of course, the announcement came out last night that the NECC playoffs will be featured live on ESTV. Again, ESTV, our linear TV partner. You can download it on Samsung TV Plus, the Roku channel, Vizio, plenty of options for you to download their platform and catch esports action from around the globe on their page. And you can see the NECC playoffs. Ladies and gentlemen, for our commissioner, Jacob Van Ryan, for our director of esports and executive producer this evening, Caleb Glooby. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here. My name is Jaron Bell. For Connor Breeze and everyone here at the NECC, we will see you next time. Stay beautiful, stay blessed. GG's, and this is the NECC. We'll see you very shortly. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the NECC. I am your host, Jaron Bell, and of course, with me tonight, the one and only Yelk Reb himself is in the building. What is up, buddy?
What's going on, Jaron? I am stoked to watch this game here.
Oh, I'm telling you what, not only am I excited to watch this game, but in this game, you talk about, Yelk, one of the top ranked programs in the country, the Boise State Broncos, the #1 seed in the NECC playoffs, come in to face St. Ambrose University. This is how you want to end your Overwatch Wednesday.
Yeah, it definitely is. St. Ambrose, they've got their work cut out for them today. They know that. It's no secret going against the top seed in the NECC. Boise State, they've got a pretty terrifying squad put together in this Champions Division. I mean, they have run over a lot of competition in scrims. They're doing well, too. They hardly ever drop maps. So SAU, they got their work cut out for them. But again, they're a team that's beaten Champions Division teams, and I think they can do it again today, but it's going to take all they've got.
But like David and Goliath and other underdog stories from across time, there's always a chance when you put 5 on 5 and you send them into Overwatch. Yelk, there's always a chance for a major upset.
Yeah, there definitely is. I mean, some days your comp just clicks, and some days the other team maybe doesn't have all the pieces together. So, Boise State, they've got to remember that even though they're the top team, they can't get too confident. You can't get complacent, and they've got to compete throughout this whole game. If they give St. Ambrose any room, I'm sure they're going to take it and run, and they could turn this one on its head really quickly.
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, we want to remind you that you can follow us online on our social media at NECC Games. Again, that's NECC Games on Twitter and Instagram for live updates, giveaways, and all kinds of information that you can check out. And got some maybe interviews, some highlight videos. There's a lot of cool stuff. And I tell you what, Yelk, it's a cool time to be involved in collegiate esports right now.
Yeah, it is. With every single game I watch, I realize that college esports is becoming something that's truly varsity. Like, you're really seeing these schools with the most talented programs emerge and just kind of solidify themselves as pioneers in this thing that we got going on that is college esports. So it's definitely an exciting time, Jaron.
Absolutely. And with that, as we grow, we cannot do it on our own, and we are grateful for our partners. Tonight, I want to say thank you to our friends at Helix Esports for all they do behind the scenes to help us put this product on your screen. And then, of course, HyperX, some of the best gear in gaming, now comes to the NECC. HyperX will also be giving the winners, the team members of our championship Overwatch team, will be giving them their choice of picking out a couple items within the HyperX family. So big thank you to them and supporting collegiate esports. And of course, Yelk, they made the announcement last night. I made the announcement online that now the NECC official playoffs will be live on ESTV. ESTV now available on Samsung TV Plus, the Roku channel, Vizio, plenty of options for you to download their platform and check out esports action from around the globe 24/7 on their platform. And that includes the NECC playoffs. And Yelk, we are 1 week away. We have one more week next week of in-season action as all roads lead to that NECC national champion and the playoffs. And in this Champions Division, all roads lead through Boise, Idaho.
Yeah, they seriously do. Boise is definitely that team that's looking to add a little something into their trophy cabinet after, the playoffs wrap up. But, it's a long road between now and then. It's weeks of Overwatch to play. So they've got to test their mettle every single game and not give up an inch this season.
Absolutely. Well, we are going to let the teams know that we are ready to get going. And so we're going to be very close to some action right now. If you were here early, you saw in the Challengers division, you saw a fantastic matchup as Northern Essex University, the #1 seed in the Challengers division, won that division. We do have the wrong map set up here, so we're going to get that changed. It's no problem. Oops in the chat. Oops and L's in the chat. We love our producer. We will get that straightened up. But again, like I was saying, in the Challengers division, Yelk, we saw Northern Essex Community College come in to face Carroll University. Northern Essex, the #1 seed in those Challenger playoff bracket, and they won 3-0 in that match. So we could be looking as Boise State tries to win a 3-0 as the 1 seed here, and we can have both 1 seeds go 3-0 on the night.
Yeah, on paper, it's definitely what you expect, and props to Northern Essex because, you know, when you're #1 and Boise State knows this too, you got a target on your back. So not only do you realize that you represent the best play in the tier at that time, but you've got to come through and make sure that you really aren't letting any secrets get away and not letting your strategies get stolen too. So Northern Essex coming through, getting a 3-0 sweep. That's what you like to see. Boise State looking to do the same thing. Exactly.
Absolutely. And as we pull a cigar out and lay back and relax under a palm tree and have a good time, let's go to the streets of Havana because we are about to get some action. And Yelk, break us down a little bit what people are going to be seeing here on this first map and first round of the night.
Yeah, so Havana is a great little map here because it's not like maps we've had in previous map pool weeks where it just has these towering high grounds throughout the entire thing. It's a relatively flat map with 90-degree corners, so it's great for those brawl comps to play. But Boise State's one of those teams where they're so organized and so high octane, I wouldn't be surprised to see a dive comp come out if it gets to it. Second point comes around, high grounds are a little more in play, and there's a lot of mid flanks you can access to, but you know, this is just a payload map, so the attackers have to sit on this red little truck and move it through 3 points of this map. It takes a fair amount of time, maybe about 6 minutes on a good run, 10 minutes on a rather slow run, and it's the defender's job to get this car to just stay in park and keep from moving. But it looks like Boise State, they're looking at Sigma Roadhog. Am I reading that correctly? That is pretty out there, Jaron.
It looks like Sigma Roadhog and the Widow, but it's going to be countered by that dive comp as we're going to see Winston Diva right out of the gate. Ladies and gentlemen, we will remind you that St. Ambrose University will be in the red, Boise State in the blue. Welcome to the Champions Division. We have Overwatch on Overwatch Wednesday.
Yeah, getting going here, the main tank Cloud on this Winston just jumping right into the front line. Kellen Guacker just solidifying this doorway with Play-Doh, just dealing a ton of damage through here, spanning down Alyssa and finding the Moira. And now it's just an absolute steamroll as the Diva gets completely erased by Kel, who is just backing himself into this corner, keeping himself up with his resources and staying far away from the fight, playing very safe. Agent Double M7 getting in the mix on Sombra, just trying to farm up that EMP already halfway. That's going to be the most crucial ultimate on the side of St. Ambrose.
And again, for that Widow, you talked about in the pregame how there's not a lot of high ground, but as the team was trying to retreat, they're not even able to retreat to regroup as the pocketed Mercy Widow just takes them out down the mid lane. Oh, so dangerous with that Widow with the Mercy damage boost.
Yeah, and that's what this Sigma Roadhog comp is all about. It's all about 2 snipers, massive pick potential. If you find a headshot, you find a kill. If Roadhog gets a hook, he gets that kill. Sigma can confirm with his rock stun ability. So just massive pick potential. We're seeing it right now as Goblin and Play-Doh are popping off in the kill feed, finding 3 quick kills. And right now, St. Ambrose is on the full retreat.
And again, I mean, Yelk, at this point, Boise State is as advertised.
Yeah, they definitely are, but I mean, St. Ambrose is just kind of playing the long game. Overwatch is a game of ultimates, and they're starting to come up on a few, most notably that EMP. They're going to get a tank composition switch off of the dive comp Cloud over to the Orisa and gets melted in the spawn door by Play-Doh, damage boosted by the Mercy. That is a great heads-up play by Boise State, not giving St. Ambrose an inch of this map so far.
Absolutely. And again, pure domination at every turn. And that Widow has been so crucial, but that tank play from the Hog has just been dominant.
Yeah, Guac's job is just to act like a final boss. He just has to be an absolute force on all parts of the map. Right now, we've got the Gravitic Flux coming in from the Sigma as 3 kills come through in the feed. The main tank and the Lucio, the last alive, going down on the side of St. Ambrose. Cloud barely making it out on his way back to spawn safely.
And Yelk, as you see this, what is Boise State doing that is really being so dominant?
It really is just multiple angles of pressure from these snipers, Goblin and Play-Doh, with that massive pick potential that I've talked about. And then Glock, again, the final boss, is a sheer force. He's the biggest threat on the field, even with 2 snipers out there. Roadhog's hook is the most punishing ability in the entire game. And I think just what we're seeing Boise State do, setting up and fanning out around these off angles, makes it a very hard task just for St. Ambrose to get out of this spawn. And St. Ambrose has to open up a lot of angles and probably use a few ultimates to get through this part of the map. It's not going to be easy.
Oh, and it's just tough. But let's see if they can regroup. Still a little bit of time left. Let's see if they can come out. But, I mean, at this point, the damage has almost been done.
Yeah, it's been a massive hold so far. Plato's got to let this Dragon Strike fly right in the spawn door, unable to find the Coalescing Moira. The beat drop keeping her up in the nick of time. Both support ultimates being used. Also, the EMP over the top gets countered by the Transcendence from a large big of the Boise State Zenyatta. And Kel finds a crucial kill on Agent 007 and Litlin. The Lucio also falling, and Alyssa going down for St. Ambrose as well. Cloud and the Moira, the last to go. It's a very strong hold here from Boise State. 12 seconds on the clock. No ultimates left in play for the Broncos, and a few in the works here for St. Ambrose. But it looks like it's a massive amount of pressure right in the spawn doors. They've got the snipers just touching the doors of the spawn. You really never see this comp played out like this. The supercharger gets used from the side of St. Ambrose, but with 2 members down, it's almost an impossible task. Alyssa and Agent 007 fall, and it looks like the payload's going to be staying right here, Jaron, as overtime bleeds down. That is a fantastic defense from the Broncos.
Oh, and just at the end, just to add insult to injury, he shoots the Dragon through the spawn door with Hanzo. An unbelievable amount of control. And right now, if you're St. Ambrose, it's time to circle the wagons because Boise State and the Broncos are here to play.
Yeah, they definitely are. Jaron, I really was surprised to see that Sigma Roadhog double sniper comp pulled out by Boise State. I know they're a talented team, but just the intricacies of that comp and the high level of skill it takes to play that, especially at this level, is really something that I think Boise State is in a league of their own, because I don't think any other team in the conference could maybe pull off a comp like that. It really takes individual talent from 4 different players, both your tanks and both your damage dealers, to just, you know, click heads. Like, you have to put the mouse, the crosshair on such a small little thing if you're playing a sniper, and you just have to be such a threat and such a big presence on Roadhog like Walk is doing, and they're doing it perfectly. I mean, cooldown cycling, getting those picks with the snipers, finding those headshots. It's just a very impressive display so far from the Broncos.
Absolutely, and you have to give credit to Doc Haskell, one of the top coaches in esports in the country, in collegiate esports. He has put together a monster squad, as the SRs of this team is high, as you could talk about. But, I mean, again, the talent that he has brought into this organization is unbelievable, and big kudos to that Boise State esports program.
Yeah, I mean, their coach clearly runs a good ship over there. The Boise State 2 team, they're no slouches either. I've gotten a chance to cast a game of theirs, and they run a very clean dive comp. That was what I was expecting this Boise State team to pull out as well, but I'm pleasantly surprised to see the Sigma Roadhog 2 snipers, because it's one of the most entertaining comps to watch, as you see Litlin get that headshot kill, or fall, sorry. By the way, the headshot to Plato, who has just been a monster on this Hanzo. He's going into the backline with Glock already. You can see this massive off-angle setup by Plato and Glock as they're shooting into the sides of St. Ambrose. And down goes 1, down goes 2 as Cloud falls. And with the pillar that is Cloud on the Reinhardt removed, it looks like Boise State is going to make quick work of this attack, as this payload is already near the finish line.
And again, it's, you hate to say it, but it looked like just too much from Boise State as they came out in dominant fashion. But before we get into talking about it, let's look at this play of the game.
Yeah, no surprise. It's Kel. I'm thinking it's just going to be a big gravitic flux, dealing massive amounts of damage to the entire team of St. Ambrose. Lifting 3 up into the sky right there and slamming them down, getting those confirms as he finds Cloud last. That's an impressive play, and that's what I'm talking about. Sigma's not the hero who's, you know, hitting those headshots. He's got a projectile that's incredibly hard to hit. He keeps the shield up, keeps your teammates alive, and Kel did a great job that entire round.
Wow. And one of the things that I think is so impressive, and you touched on it a little bit, obviously the dual snipers and the talent that is needed, but also we just saw that from Kel right there. How about these players that might have much higher ranks? Sometimes you get higher ranked players, they sometimes don't mesh well, but it looks to me like this Boise State team, all these players playing at such a high ranked level, but they come together and the communication is just there, Yelk.
Yeah, the Boise State Broncos are looking real scary, Jaron. Like you were saying, all these players that mesh well together, you can get to the high ranks of Overwatch in one of two ways. You can be either mechanically gifted and just be an absolute master of the mouse and not miss any shots, or Overwatch is a game where you can be a completely supportive player and you're bailing out your teammates left and right and you're making all the guys around you stronger and better players. And I think that's what we've got in Boise State. They've just got a very well put together team.
And it's dangerous when you can get both of those things. But right now we're going to change focus. I have seen teams upset teams on this map. Kings Row is so unforgiving at times. And as we get ready to switch over there, I mean, what are we going to see differently here?
Yeah, this is a brawl heavy map. It's a lot like Havana where there's not many high grounds. The first point of Kings Row has some high grounds that wrap around the back of the point. But this is going to be a hybrid map. I'll explain it once we get in how that game mode works for anyone who's not familiar. But yeah, it's going to be one of those low ground maps, those tanks with movement abilities, not going to be as much of a factor. Those brawl tanks like Sigma Roadhog is going to work fantastic on this map. Reinhardt Zarya, another brawl comp tank lineup that, could see some action for the side of St. Ambrose. That's kind of what I'm expecting. But, I think if you're Boise State, you're going to be running that Sigma Roadhog double sniper because this is another fantastic map for it.
We want to give a big shout out to some of the people in the chat. Hurricane Overwatch, obviously here for their boy Yelkreb. Big shout out to them and the other people in the chat. Big shout out for the St. Ambrose fans in the chat. It is a tough night, and we're looking for your team to bounce back. We appreciate you coming in here and tuning in to Overwatch Wednesdays. Man, let's get ready for this next match. And like you said, let's explain that game mode, Yelk, as we change it up just a little bit.
Yeah, so Kings Row, if we're just able to look at this first point, you can see there's a little white square that is going to be our first objective. Once the objective gets captured, it's much like Havana, where it's that payload map. You have to move a payload through 2 points on this map after you capture the first objective. If the attacking team does get the first objective, you're going to see these garage doors open, and that's where the payload is going to come out from. And then you've got the rest of the map to finish from there on out. But this objective-based game mode, you've got the defenders with a pretty big advantage because they get to set up any way they want. And it looks like we're going to see Boise State pulling out Plato on Reinhardt. So they're switching up their main tank. Kel is going over to the Reaper, and then Guac is staying on the big boss Roadhog. So this is a very interesting brawl comp, kind of a cocky one coming out from Boise State because Guac really is not going to be able to support Plato that well unless he is just hopping off in the kill feed, getting a lot of kill potential on Roadhog.
And we have seen that potential, like you said, in the past. So let's not expect anything different from
Guac.
Oh,
man.
Oh.
Well, there's one. Cloud goes down, and Guac is already threatening to push toward the spawn door, but a quick Maywall is going to have him on the back foot, sent back through the choke, and bailed out by Plato, who clearly shows that he's got the sticks on Reinhardt, knows what he's doing on this hero, not just a DPS player. That's good to see. Now Cloud is back in the mix, out of spawn with the Discord on his head, already threatened by a massive amount of damage, but it's going to be Plato going down first, and a Riptire to bail out. Boise State finds a double kill. Coalescence over the top from Jerky, trying to bounce this one back for St. Ambrose, but he is sent back to spawn as he's erased by Goblin.
Well, and one of the things here, Yelk, that I'm seeing is even when Guac gets walled off, is able to exit, and even when the Coalescence comes out and we lose a couple people as the Rhine goes down, I mean, my goodness, how this other team responds. The rest of this team is just absolutely fighting for each other.
Yeah, they really are. And Guac has adjusted his playstyle now. He's no longer frontlining as this Roadhog. He's in the backline so he can offer some peel for his own backline. But right there, ACU goes down to a quick headshot from Agent Double M7, and now Guac has to pull out the whole hog and chipper down Cloud on this Reinhardt. Agent Double M7 going as well, but a big Death Blossom from Litland finds the Zenyatta from Boise State, and the Diva Bomb flies in but finds nothing, and it's still the Broncos able to stabilize on this first choke.
Oof. And again, the way that they have held, they step into Hotel just to try to look at that backline, but Plato and his team, I mean, even the Reaper, everybody's staying alive. Riptire. Oh,
Riptire right on the tailcoats of that Roadhog hook, finds 3 quick kills, and again, St. Ambrose has to reset here. Kel getting the final kill onto Litland for that fight, and Boise State is setting up as aggressive as you can possibly set up on Kings Row. It's the same story that we saw on Havana, and right now the Broncos have a lot of ultimates to work with, and St. Ambrose doesn't have a lot of attacking ultimates here. That's what I'm seeing.
Blizzard comes out on statue, but not much there. Does pick the Junkrat, but still, now they're going to go to point.
Cloud's going to end up finding a kill with that Shatter too, and now he's just in an absolute brawl with Plato. In this hotel, you never see Reinhardt's end up playing out fights right there, and St. Ambrose is getting some progress here on this point, but Boise State, they're the most aggressive team I've ever seen, Jaron, so they might get back and contest this. I'm really not too sure. Guac's getting in the mix on Roadhog in the back, but they don't get a foot on the point, so this one will go the way of St. Ambrose. The cart comes out of the garage, and now St. Ambrose has a long road ahead of them.
Absolutely, and I tell you what, Yoke, this is one of my favorite types of Overwatch, the Brawl Comp, 2 Titans as Reinhardt's meet in the middle of the street. This is exactly what I signed up for.
Yeah, it certainly is. The Maywall right there ends up proving to Plato's advantage. He's already got the help that he needs. Kel comes through with that Death Blossom, which erases Azuros, and that's going to be St. Ambrose back to spawn again as they chase Litland down through that hotel. But still some progress made on this point, and it's going to be St. Ambrose coming back in with what looks like a Death Blossom coming up very soon, as well as a Coalescence, but Boise State has a great alt bank of their own.
And again, it's so demoralizing as a team to be able, you win the point, you think you're going to get some momentum, and the first time they push in, just domination. But you have to give it to Guac. Oh, a massive shatter! Oh,
Shatter puts 2 on their backs, and that's immediately erased as their Rose Cloud and Alyssa going down. Plato goes up and just puts his hand right on that spawn door, and this is just an absolute tank difference we're seeing here on Kings Row. This Ryan Roadhog composition is not one you see work very well, but these tanks are so scary, so threatening for the Broncos. Guac is on the high ground, and he is an absolute menace.
Oof. I mean, I'm going to be honest. Listen, I've casted here at the NECC. I've been blessed to cast some other tournaments like you have as well. But this Boise State team is the best team I've ever seen. As the Riptire Shatter, maybe some momentum here. Oh my goodness!
Oh
right
my God!
Whole hog comes out.
Plato, whose hands are these, Plato? You're not supposed to have Shatter that quickly. Wow. Oh my God! This is all the space being taken away from the Broncos. A hook onto Alyssa, and they've got him pinned here, Jaron. They can't get out.
Oh my gosh. Again, not only was I saying it before when all that went down, but this Boise State team is the best team I've ever seen.
Yeah, these tanks right now are all on their own. They've got no supports with them backing them up. It's just the tanks able to support themselves. They don't have any healing capabilities until they poke toward the line of sight of their supports. And you're really just seeing some independent play from these players on Boise State with almost no fear. They're able to go up toe-to-toe 1v6 with St. Ambrose and know they've got a window of time to work with before things really get hairy. Goblin goes in with the rocket punch, but now he's Maywalled off and he's not going to make it out alive. Oh man, Plato's up trying to make the play, and he pins Agent Double M7, but he gets taken out by Litland, and now St. Ambrose has some wiggle room as the card is going to begin to inch forward as Guac goes down to Litland as well, and the death ball from St. Ambrose finally gaining some ground here on Kings Row.
You have to, right now, if you're St. Ambrose, you have to get as much as you can, because we've seen what Boise State does when they regroup. Don't rotate too far to the right. Doomfist back with Junkrat on point.
Nano Zenyatta, they break the bank into their support line, and a large bagel. He's got to find the pick, and he's got to get the Death Blossom out of Litland. That's probably the most crucial play out of that interaction. St. Ambrose still moving this cart forward, but now they're a big ultimate down. Still, though, the Boise State Broncos, they did use that nano boost, and the Transcendence comes back just to get out of spawn. Oh my God, a large bagel. That is the cockiest thing I've ever seen a Zenyatta do. He literally uses his ultimate to walk back a little bit faster from the spawn, and he's going to find the value, and it's going to be worth it. Kel takes out Cloud, and the slam finds nothing, and Plato is in with his back against the wall. Buried into the train station. The
comes a Riptire.
Comes through, finds a double kill. Boise State's not done yet. Walk is still a presence on this card. He finds the hook, but the beat drop able to keep Double M7 alive for just a hair longer. And now Kel and the Zenyatta large bagel, the last line of defense on the second point for the Broncos. Meteor Strike coming through, unable to find a kill. And Plato is back on the wrecking ball. It's 5 members back for the Broncos versus 4 members currently on the cart for St. Ambrose. The cart inches 0.57 meters from the finish line of the second point, but it's still contested. Plato slams in, unable to find a kill there, but Goblin is popping off with 3 in the feed. Litland goes down. Boise State's got this one. Overtime is already bleeding. A large bagel, the last line. And, oh, man, they get it done, Jaron.
Man, and I tell you what, let's talk about how frustrating it has to be to play this Boise State Bronco team, because you get a little bit of momentum, you start moving the cart, you think that the tanks have been absolutely unbelievable, and then out of nowhere, Goblin makes a switch, brings out the Doomfist, and the Doomfist wreaks pure havoc on the point and ends the match. I mean, my goodness, they can do it from everywhere.
Yeah, they really can. And honestly, the play of that entire point was the Zenyatta, a large bagel, transcendencing out of spawn and getting back there, because all of his teammates, except for just him and a DPS player, were taken out of the fight. It was just him, and I believe it was Kel on the Junkrat, and they were all that was left, and they wouldn't have been there unless a large bagel transcended out of the spawn, had that speed boost that he gave himself there, and then he just clinged on to that point with Kel. They didn't let it go. They swapped over to the Doomfist, over to the Wrecking Ball. They had those stall heroes out, and then Doomfist just has that rocket punch ability, which is massive pick potential, and one by one they came through, and Boise State held it.
Absolutely. And listen, if Gelk, here's a question, because you are a more experienced Overwatch player than me. If you're in this same situation, you're facing this superior team, and with everything you're going on, what are you telling your team? What can we do differently?
I think what you can do differently is play the game a little more like Boise State's playing it. That sounds, a little cliche, but Boise State is a team that peels for each other incredibly well, and I think you have to swap to an off tank. Maybe like a Zarya. It's probably not going to be enough.
Ooh.
D.Va probably is the right pick, but just something with an ability that can really bail someone out and block a ton of sharp damage that they're trying to put onto them. Right there, double M7 going down early is going to be not good for St. Ambrose, as they're going to struggle to hold this statue. Litland goes down. He's got no tanks there supporting him, and that's what I'm talking about right there. Boise State would have bailed out that Reaper somehow, some way. We would have seen it, but Litland going down there makes this a 6 versus 4 as Boise State is pressuring this hotel. St. Ambrose is back into this corner. They're right on the welcome desk, and this is not a spot you want to be, Jaron. They're in the corner, tucked in. Kel finds a kill, Glock getting the kill on the Cloud, and as Alyssa goes down, this first point is going to belong to Boise State.
Well, and 2 times in a row, Cloud took out Plato, Ryan versus Ryan, able to take it out, but like you said, once again, just able to bail his team out by those DPSs.
Oh, what is Guac doing there? No one expects him to be there. He's pushed up all the way and catches St. Ambrose right out of the spawn again. He's the most aggressive tank I've seen in the NECC so far. This is the definition of doing what a tank is supposed to do, which is take space. The payload is over 100 meters of progress behind him, and Guac is playing fearlessly in this train station. And St. Ambrose, they've got to make the move and either pressure him or pressure something else. You can't just go at this with a half amount of effort. The whole hog is popped. The shadow from the Echo copy is out. Goblin gets the Nano Blade. Oh, this is kills left, right, and center for the Broncos as they clean up 5, make it 6, as Litland is fighting for his life, going down to Kel. And yeah, I mean, it is just a matter of not fully committing on the kills right there, because Guac was right in front of you. You had the Lucio speed boost. You just have to know when is time. When you see the green light, you just have to take it. You can't just be on the fence about making moves like committing to a Roadhog. He's not going to let you do it. And right now, I mean, they're tucked in. This is the 3rd point. The payload does not have to go even close to this far, Jaron.
No, absolutely. I'm back here at the payload right now and on it, just sitting on it, having a picnic, maybe trying to make some dinner reservations for here in just a little bit, because right now they're about to go on point. No one's even going to get close to touching. This game is over.
Yeah, you got the Sombra coming in who's invisible. She'll get a little bit of a foot on the point, but with no backup, it's going to be awfully tough. ACU is engaged in duel right now, and double M7 does eventually go down. So that is going to be 2-0 to the side of Boise State as this cart goes into the 2nd point finish line. Just like that, BSU is up 2-0.
What do you think? What do you think the play of the game is? Call it before it comes. Go.
Oh, well, the Overwatch play of the game, it's going to be a Death Blossom. I lied. It's a big blizzard. Oh, yeah,
the
double M7.
blizzard.
No, he did
Wow.
He did have
Not
that
what I
massive play
expected.
first point from the high ground. Nice headshot onto ACU, but you don't see a lot of play of the games where the guy getting the play has to tuck into his own spawn right there. But another nice headshot on Kel, so pretty clean work from the Ice Queen herself.
Absolutely. I think May is fantastic. I love that character. I tell you what, I almost feel a little worn out because this has been and I don't, you know me, everybody complains that I talk too much, but I am just at a loss for words right now, Yelk, at the amount of domination that I've seen.
Yeah, I mean, St. Ambrose, they're in some tough shoes right now. I would not want to fill them if I was them. I've competed in a lot of esports tournaments too, and I've never been on the best team. I've never been on a team that's like Boise State. And when you go up against, the best player or the best team in your tournament, you're always trying to learn from them. So I'm sure they're going to take something from this game, watch the VOD codes back, watch the replays, and hopefully, their tanks learn a little something from Plato and Guac, how to take some space on Roadhog, how to make that Roadhog comp even work, because we haven't seen it from St. Ambrose. We're seeing them try to answer it with other things right now that just aren't quite as effective, but you will kind of see the differences in your game versus the other team, on a team level and an individual level, how much value you get out of your heroes.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that did not take long, as we will see. I mean, Boise State will take this win and move up in the standings. But as of right now, they're not going anywhere. But this next map, listen, as we're going to focus and switch things, first of all, the first thing I want you to talk about, can we go ahead and speak how we have a new game mode? We're going to play a little bit differently, and maybe this can swing St. Ambrose way.
Yeah, so we've got control here on Lijiang Tower. And this is, if you're unfamiliar with Overwatch, this game mode can be linked similarly to King of the Hill, which is both teams spawn at the exact same time. There's no defending advantage. Nobody spawns first and gets a look at the map first. They come out of the spawn at the exact same time, and they race to the center of the map and control this center point here. And it's 3 points. So what that's going to be is a different look entirely, like a different map within the map itself, to give us 3 rounds of control if need be. The first team to get 2 points captured by holding them for a total of 100 seconds will be the victor. And we're seeing a wonky comp right now, Jaron, from Boise State. Are they going to leave spawn with Bastion?
I think so. I think they're going to teleport out, put the Bastion up, and just rain down the pain. But, let's see, because we can teleport from the other side. Junkrat be able to do some damage. But let's get into it right now. Final round. Let's go.
Guac already closing the distance in on the front line, but passively backing off, making some space for his Bastion. Goblin's up in the crow's nest, raining bullets in, but he's taken out by Jarek's damage orb. And that is a big window created for St. Ambrose as Kel's removed by double M7. Plato fighting for his life. 1 versus 5 on the point, battered by Cloud and taken out of the equation by a hammer swing. Now it's just a large bagel bouncing around on the point. He's still got Guac. Massive pick potential still in play, but as Bagel goes down, Guac is the final presence here for Boise State around the outside of the map, and it looks like he's not going to win this duel against Cloud.
Well, and they tried to make the play. They tried to get they tried to get a little cute with it, let's be honest. They tried to put that in there, but it just didn't work. But right now they stick with it. They leave the Bastion out there.
I mean, they're kind of playing with their food a little bit here, Jaron. That's what I think. I think they know that they're up 2-0, and this can be a little fun map if they want it to be, but I still think Goblin is trying his heart out on Bastion. He's not made any mistakes so far. A little unlucky that first fight when he got taken out, but he's going on incredibly smart flanks right now. Like on the left side, he's making all the room in the world as he takes out double M7. Not alive for long though as Cloud erases him and finds a big shatter onto Plato. He's now got the orb slapped onto him, trying to keep him alive. Block finding a kill around the perimeter. Plato getting the fire strike onto Cloud, and this one is swinging the Broncos' way as Alyssa is taken down by Kel, and Azure Rose finally removed by Plato, and this one's gonna flip.
Wow. And again, Yelk, we've said it. I don't know how many times we can say this, but as much as you'd like to think that Boise State has top-tier players, and that we know that they do, but this team plays together as a team.
Yeah, they really do. Even when you don't see all 6 of them together, even when it's just 2 of them together, you know that those 2 guys are going to be bailing them out like to no end. They will use their entire kit on their hero to just make some room, buy some time, get some support to the guy next to him. And they're not letting anyone on their team go down easily. And it's a total team effort there. It's not really coming down to individual skill, being able to outmaneuver anyone. It really is a team effort where everyone just puts their resources into their teammates. And right here we get 2 quick kills onto Cloud and Jarek. Alyssa and Azura Rose go down. The point flips only briefly as Boise State will regain control as it starts to tick up here. And St. Ambrose, you know, they get the flip. They're proven that they can capture this point on Li Jiang. They're currently winning this game, and this is the best we've seen them play so far.
Absolutely. And I just tell you what, Yelk, I love that play right there from Plato, from the top rope with the shatter. That was unbelievable.
Out from the top turnbuckle, that's right. The Transcendence on the right side, only to keep the Bastion up. Diva Bomb sent in right atop his head, and he's taken out by Alyssa's bomb. Kel getting that Rocket Punch kill onto Double M7, but a large bagel goes down to Litlin. Now the DPS finding another kill as Litlin is removed. Glock getting the kill onto Jarek, and Plato removed down as Cloud wins the Rhine battle outright. Now it's just the tanks for St. Ambrose as they're trying to claim the rest of this space here away from the Broncos. They've still got to deal with Guac, and he finally gets removed by the Junkrat from St. Ambrose. Now Alyssa's taking a lot of space here on the right side, trying to get it away from Kel's possession on this Doomfist, and he's battered into a corner by Cloud. And now Goblin popping the bash and all, making something happen on the tank, makes a lot of room here. He's up on the high ground, finds one, finds two. And it's still Boise State's point to lose as they've got a lot of these resources spread around the point. Off-angling all around St. Ambrose. They're going to remove members one by one and flip this one back. 89% and going up. 10 seconds left of this round. Jaron, I don't know if anyone on St. Ambrose makes it back.
I don't think they do, especially because Boise State has circled the wagons and headed to the spawn. Well, the Reaper's going to get there.
Yeah, Litlin barely there. He's hanging on by the skin of his pants, putting as much damage as he can into the Guac, and does dodge the hook, but Guac is just playing with his food right here. Plato comes through with the BM shatter and pins him right into the center pillar. Doomfist ults Kel, finding a kill right there onto the center pillar, and the whole hog will seal the deal here on the first point of Li Jiang as the Bros are victorious on this point.
You have to tell me that. Ladies and gentlemen, holy moly, what a play. Wow. What a play. I mean, especially for, Boise State at this point, what else can we say besides the fact that, it's pure aggression, and I think I've said it earlier, but tonight just reassured me all roads to the national championship lead through Boise, Idaho.
Yeah, and I think we're seeing a little something from St. Ambrose here, which is a little unfortunate because I think they have played their best Overwatch today, and it is a bit of a team difference we're seeing as Boise State has jumped so far out in front. But player of the match so far, to me, has got to be either Guac or Kel. Just the absolute difference makers in this one for Boise State. Guac on the Roadhog is doing things that I have not seen anyone else do in the NECC so far. But right now, it's going to be two members of Boise State, Plato and Kel, finding the first bloods of this round of Li Jiang, and Goblin in the backline, punching right into the Diva of St. Ambrose and shooing her away from the point. Looks like the Broncos are going to get this first capture.
Ooh, absolutely. And without even thinking about it, and now the issue becomes, how do you take it away? They have it in their grasp, and how do you come? This point, I do believe that this point is a little more difficult to take than the other.
Yeah, it definitely is. The walls that just kind of create the corners around this point make it a bit more of a nightmare for tanks to maneuver in because there's a lot of spam damage that can get done onto them, and Goblin on this Doomfist pick for Boise State has a lot of tight corridors to bash St. Ambrose into, but he gets removed early as he gets taken out by Double M7, but it looks like Boise State is just rolling deep in this one. They're again up into the spawn, just really starting to play with St. Ambrose as a large bagel gets another boop kill on the Jarek, just all the way around the outside of the map, giving up no room.
Oh, and massive. Oh, and the Doomfist just giving it to him. Here it comes, the Meteor Strike.
Meteor Strike maybe just trying to set up a play here. Takes his time in the sky. A large bagel goes down in the meantime to Double M7. And Goblin comes in from the skybox and removes Litlin from the equation. Now the tanks of Boise State are in this choke. Full force, but Goblin goes down. And Guac falling as well. The Roadhog and the Reaper doing a lot of work right now. But Plato on the point slams 4 down. and 2 kills come through. The supports removed for St. Ambrose. Alyssa's bomb will find Cal. Plato goes down as well. A large bagel, the final presence left on the point for Boise State, taken down, and the point flips. And Jaron, right now, St. Ambrose, how do they keep control?
If it's me, you have to try to stay grouped up a little bit. I mean, that's the only thing I could have. The success you've had today is when you're together as oh my goodness, the Ryan gets slept on point.
Azura Rose drops the beat by St. Ambrose. A little bit of time, but Guog's whole hog makes it absolutely a nightmare to be on point right now if you're anyone on St. Ambrose. The pin from Cloud unsuccessful. The anti-nade lands onto him and he gets taken out by a large bagel. Now Plato is in the driver's seat, swinging his hammer back and forth, taking everything away from St. Ambrose. Fire strikes down Azura Rose and cleaves through Alyssa. Goblin eventually confirming that kill onto the Baby Diva, and this one's going to go back in Boise State's direction as they've got to remember to capture the point. They step off it for a second there.
I mean, it's even if you take out the Reinhardt, you have to worry about the nades. You have to worry about the boop that comes out. I mean, there's so many things that are so dangerous about this Boise State team.
Yeah, there are. Right now, I'm looking to see what Plato does with this final Earth Shatter at the buzzer. Looking to see the Reinhardt drop another big slam into here. He usually saves it for when St. Ambrose threatens the point very close, and right now he's doing just that by remaining on the point despite the fight happening away from him. A large bagel getting the boop onto Azura Rose is huge. Overtime beginning to tick down. Plato does not find the shatter he's looking for. Cloud taking out AC makes this anyone's game. As St. Ambrose still clings alive, but with Cloud and Litwin taken down, overtime will begin to dwindle. Diva is D-mech, desuited. Alyssa is out of that mech, and that's got to be it. Looks like Boise State has got to take this one home as they are looking strong, just like they have all season, Jaron.
Man, and again, from the start of the season to the end of the season, my producer will tell me if I'm right, but I believe they've only dropped one map all season long. And, I mean, it might be 2, but 1 or 2 maps all season. Let's see this Reinhardt play of the game.
Yeah, this is an individual play right here as he's able to take out Litwin all on his own. He uses that ultimate purely to win that duel, and just winning that duel, removing that burst damage from St. Ambrose is going to buy Boise State that point.
Absolutely. That was, I mean, Yelk, I think you and I are starting to become friends, and I thought we were going to get a little bit more time to spend with each other tonight, but Boise State makes quick work of tonight's match.
Yeah, this one was speedy. I mean, the Broncos were in full canter today, that's for sure.
Oh, see, you did the canter line. See, I see what you did there. See what you did there, guys. Thank you so much for being here with us tonight. Again, I mean, Boise State, the #1 seed in the Champions Division. This team comes out and gets a 3-0 victory. But again, Yelk, I mean, let's give a little bit of kudos to St. Ambrose, because this is not – we know what the task was coming into this match, and I do think there were times where they showed a valiant effort.
Yeah, they played some good Overwatch, especially there on Lijiang, and for a few fights there on Kings Row, they were able to capture that first point. So they've clearly got an ace in their sleeve that Boise State's not aware of, where if SAU can kind of just harness that every single game and get consistent with that level of play, they can take a map off any team.
Absolutely, they 100% can. And again, wow. I mean, I'm over the top impressed. Guys, thank you so much. I want to give a big shout out to everyone in the Twitch chat. You guys have been absolutely awesome tonight. Big poggers to you guys, because you have just littered that chat with some cool stuff. I've been over here chuckling as we're in between games at some of the stuff that goes on in that chat, man. Having a great time with it. And again, follow us on social media as well. If you are new here in the Twitch chat, go ahead and hit that follow button, join our community. And of course, follow us on NECC Games. That's NECC Games on Twitter and Instagram for live updates, announcements, and giveaways right there on our platform. And I tell you what, Yelk, it was another successful night, man. And I'm so grateful that you took some time out of your day to come spend it with me here and do some college Overwatch.
Another good one in the books, Jaron. I mean, I was looking forward all day when I found out that I was going to get to cast this Boise State team. They did not disappoint my expectations. I'm excited to see what they can do with the rest of this tournament. And it was a pretty good look for SAU, first time around either. You don't want to go up against the best team every time, but I think this game is going to prepare them every bit they need to be for their next matchup.
Absolutely. I completely agree with you. And ladies and gentlemen, we have one more week of regular season action, and we will switch and get ready for the NECC playoffs. It is going to be fantastic. One last time, I want to say thank you to our partners. Thank you to our friends at Helix Esports for all that they do. Thank you to our friends at HyperX. Some of the best gear in gaming now comes to the NECC. And of course, our linear TV partner, you might be watching live right now on ESTV. And if you're not, you can now download it on Samsung TV Plus, the Roku channel, Vizio, plenty of options where you can download that platform and watch esports action from around the globe 24/7. And man, big shout out to our friends at ESTV, as the NECC playoffs will be live on ESTV. For our commissioner, Jacob Van Ryan, for our executive producer, Caleb Glooby, and our director of esports, we thank them for all they do. For everyone behind the scenes, all the interns, all the staff here at the NECC, my name is Jaron Bell. That is Yelkreb. Thank you so much for being here with us tonight. And until next time, stay beautiful, stay blessed, GG's, and we are the NECC. We'll see you guys next time.
Later, chat.